Hey guys, this is gonna be a 2-in-1 video, a prep with me video prepping for the next 2 days of dance and kind of story time on a few things. And also make sure you follow my dog's Instagram, Baby Sammy, for life. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, follow my Instagram, Lolly Forever, and follow me on TikTok at LollyForever1. But I'm going to be prepping for dance after I do a massive story time. So I'm going to do a story time of what happened in voice lessons yesterday. And then I'm going to do kind of other story time because I'm going to do the full story time on the, which is kind of 3 stories put together, 3 or 4 put together, and because it kind of shows how nice of a person Bella actually is and stuff. I'm gonna start with that because that's gonna kind of lead us to others. But anyways, Bella is my best friend, and so I'm gonna give you the full story time. On 2019, in February 13th, I saw my crush for the last time. This video's gonna get emotional. I know, and I'm now seeing why. But don't worry, I'm okay. I'm fine. But anyways, I saw my crush for the last time. Well, about I want to say a month or two, a month and a half later or so, I went to music class again because I really wanted to see my crush again, and that whole thing, and I had convinced my parents. They were okay, you can go this time. Nor am I kind of here. I'm gonna fix this because there's one here is bothering me. But anyway, well, that didn't fix it, but oh well. I know that's disgusting, but don't worry, I don't usually do that, but I know that's disgusting. And then don't worry, I'm washing my hands after I film. But anyways, I saw my crush, and then a month, a month after I had saw my crush, February 13th, 2019, in a month and a half later, I convinced my parents to let me go to music class. Because that was something that first up, that was something that I didn't get to do as much anymore. Because first up, we were kind of living farther away from it, and also the thing is that the actual time that it starts is kind of later in the evening, and the actual time that starts later in the evening and the time to actually get there, everything made it where I couldn't really go too often, but I really wanted to go, and I really wanted to go see my crush, and then I got there and then found out he was out sick, and obviously before I knew what it was, obviously my brain assuming the worst at this point. That's just how my brain works with him. Anyone else can be sick, and I'm sorry for them, but it doesn't really get to me. I mean, well, other than Sam. But Sam's only been hardcore sick once. And then it was just for a day, and then he was fine. And stuff but anyways, one thing led to another to where then I found out cause I heard the teacher talking to one of the assistants oh yeah, he's not gonna be here today, he's out sick, and then my brain assumed the worst, and then she's yeah, it's just a cold, it's not that big of a deal. and my brain is like, that's not that big of a deal, like, that was just kind of, and then I'm like, well, it isn't. It's not that big of a deal, but it's also not great. Like, one of those situations and stuff. So then, like, I ended up, he didn't come, and then, like, a little bit later, we had made plans that, like, when Bella came down that summer, or because it was, like, getting close to her coming down for the summer, and, like, that, like, my dad was gonna, like, take me and Bella, and she was gonna, like, get to meet him and stuff. Well, this all happened, like, actually, we had a while, because she wasn't coming for, like, another, like, month and a half or so. Well, like, a month later, or I, like, couldn't take it anymore. Like, I was physically, like, it's been, like, over 2 months since I've seen him. I really want to see him, like, that whole thing. And then, like, I just really want to, like, go and see him, and I'm, like, and also with the fact that, like, I didn't get to see him, like, the time before, so, like, yeah, so many things. And then ended up, like, we ended up, I, like, asked my parents, I'm like, hey, and, like, I go to music class tomorrow, and they're like, well, if you go tomorrow, you can't go with Bella. And I'm like, let me go, like, FaceTime her. So I went, I FaceTimed her because I had an iPad at the time, but, like, I could, like, FaceTime people. My dad now has the iPad because really Bella's the only one I, like, FaceTime. And also, I don't know if she has FaceTime anymore or what. Like, so, yeah. But anyways, one thing led to another to where, like, I ended up, like, I FaceTimed Bella, and she ended up answering, and then she, like, I don't know, I FaceTimed her, and, like, with Bella, the thing is, you kind of have, like, I had to, like, do it twice, because a lot of the time Bella doesn't have, like, her phone on her or something. Like, she'll, like, be in her room, but her, like, phone will be on the other side of the room or something. And so I always do it twice, because it's, like, kind of what I have to do. She never minds. Like, that's just kind of our strategy. When I can't get a hold of her the first time, do it one more time, and then if I don't get a hold of her, then I'll text her or something. But anyway, and so, like, I FaceTimed Bella, she answered, and I'm like, hey, Bella, I have to talk to you about something, and she, like, sure, what is it? And I'm like, I have a chance to where I can go to music class tomorrow, like, but my parents said that if I go tomorrow, we can't go when you come down. Like, I really want to go, like, I really need to see him, like, I just really want to see him, and she literally said, why are you talking to me about this? And I'm, like, at this point, like, kind of freaking out, and I'm, like, because I'm, like, I won't go unless you tell me it's okay, because I know we were looking forward to, like, going together and stuff. Like, and she's like, why are you talking to me about this? And I'm like, what are you saying? And she's like, I don't know why you're talking to me about this. You have to go. And I'm like, okay, thank you, Bella. Like, cause I seriously didn't want to, like, go, and then, like, her get mad and be like, well, we were supposed to go, but now we can't because you went. Like, even though I knew that would, like, never happen, because that was amazing, I wanted to get it approved by her just to make sure. So I went in and, like, told my parents, and they're like, okay. And then, he, unfortunately, he was out sick again or something. I don't know if he was, like, still out sick. I'm assuming he, like, was out sick again. Like, oh, like, the time before he, like, got sick or something with the cold. And then, like, got better and then is out sick again. Might I add, all of this is going on, like, kind of in, like, a time where, like, it's normal to get sick. So, like, I wasn't, like, too, like, worried or anything. I don't get worried over that stuff. Like, I generally don't. Like, I will say I get off edge when it comes to him, but that's just my brain, and that's just how it works. But anyways, something real, that's like kind of the start of it. But we ended up like getting to go, and we found out music class wasn't happening like that day, and I thought music class was done for. And my dad's like, no, like the check never came in to fund it this week, so they're not doing it this week, but they're gonna be back like next week. Well, that wasn't the case. And like that's what we were told, and that generally was the plan, but things happen. Truthfully, only we don't know what happened. Like, but anyways, like I went off on Bella in the car that day. Like, cause I went, like, me and Bella were like talking in the car for like a minute. Like, my dad was grabbing snacks. And then I like kind of went off on Bella because like all I could think about is I'm not gonna see him again. Like this is something that and I never want to happen. Like I was definitely off edge by it. Like I mean when you find someone that you love more than anyone else in the world, and then this happens, and then you realize you lost that person. Like, they're alive, but you lost all contact with them. That can be something. So but later on, like, I don't even remember what I said. Like, Bella had said, like, I'm sorry, Lolly. And I, like, just went off on her. Like, I don't know what it was, but I went off on her. And I'm like, well, sorry doesn't fix this. I'm never going to see him again. Like, I was just I went off on her. After that happened, and my dad got back in the car, and, like, I could tell that, like, I felt bad about it. Like, because it hit me in my brain. Like, I'm like, I just went off on Bella. Like, I literally just went off on my best friend for literally saying, I'm sorry, Lolly. Like, that, like, definitely, like, hit me. But also, I could kind of tell that, like, Bella knew, and, like, understood that, like, it wasn't me wanting to do that. It was, like, things had happened that day, you know, like. But anyways, so, that was the only thing that had happened that day. But anyways, like, we got back. And then, and we were in my room, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Bella, I shouldn't have gone off on you. And she's like, it's okay, you were just upset. And I'm like, yeah. So that, like, whole thing happened, but Bella did something really nice. We did a thing called random dance parties. And we did a thing called random dance parties, where, like, randomly we'll turn on music and we'll just start, like, having a dance party. For no reason, random dance party, out of nowhere. It's just something we like to do. And she did something really nice. She, like, told me, like, she's like, don't go in your room, I'm working on a surprise. So, like, I'm like, okay, like, not thinking anything of it. And all of a sudden she's like, okay, ready. Like, you ready to see it? And I'm like, yeah. So we went in my room, and she, like, did something really nice. She pulled out all of, like, my JoJo stuff, and like she basically turned my room into like a SEWA, a family themed random dance party that's not really random because she planned it out. Where she she had like all of like my JoJo stuff like laid out like throughout the room and stuff like and you could see it all and stuff. And she had like I think she had a computer or like yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a computer or something. And she like had see like JoJo music playing. And I was gonna say SEWA music, but I realized all SEWA music is JoJo music. Because XOG pop wasn't like a thing at the time. And then even then that's XOG pop music, but it kind of counts. Like it's in a similar like category with like SEWA because the SEWA family was the one that created XOG pop. Like, but anyways, it was really cool that she did that, and then she's like, yeah, I felt like it would be something fun and for us to do, considering you're not gonna see him. And I'm like, it just was really exciting. Like, she did all of that, but yeah, that happened. But on to, like, the story of voice lessons. Actually, I'm not gonna do, like, a prep with me part of the video because I just realized that the only thing I have to really do, well, like, a few things, is I have to put my microphone back where in my like music section, and I have to move my fold up dance mat, and that's basically it because I already plugged in my air conditioner, and I have to open in what I call the baby Sam door. It's actually a doggy door, but I have to open it because that way Sam can come in and out as he pleases throughout the next 2 days. You're probably not going to get a video tomorrow or the next day because I am really, really busy. But anyways, like, it was definitely an interesting voice lesson and yesterday, and also kind of an emotional voice lesson at the same time. Like, here's the thing, is that, like, I don't really connect with everyone, and what I mean by that is, like, there's a lot of times I'll meet, like, when I was at music class, like, we always had, like assistants and stuff, and, like, there was one that, like, I kind of got to be, like, on, like, really good terms with, but it wasn't, like, even then, I didn't, like, have, like, a full, like, really strong connection. It was, like, like, she was one that, like, I was on pretty good terms with. And what I mean by that is, I was shy. I feel like I'm, like, outgoing but shy at the same time. Like, when it comes to, like, not knowing in you and, like, when it comes to, like, not knowing someone and, like, not really having anything to, like, as a base, like, and what I mean by that is, like, I'm more outgoing when it's, like, oh, like, I'm in a dance class, or, oh, I'm, like, in a voice lesson. Then it's, like, when it's that sort of thing, or just filming, like, YouTube videos, TikToks, I'm, like, really outgoing. But in every other case where it's, like, we don't have that kind of, I'm shy. And I will say that. So anyways, like, but I don't always connect with, like, anyone really. And well, here's the thing, is that, like, I connected pretty much instantly connected with all of my dance teachers. Like, I mean, I very much instantly, like, connected with Gianna Martello because I, like, knew her, like, I'm from, like, Dance Mom, and I knew her from Dance Mom. And I kind of knew who she was and stuff. And I instantly connected with Abby Lee Miller, of course. That was great. And Abby Lee Miller and Gianna Martell. I instantly connected with. And then it was then there were a couple other dance teachers that I didn't know who they were really up until I connected with them instantly, but it took me 60 seconds to connect with them, and that's because I didn't know anything about them. And those would be Alyssa, Alyssa, Danny, Taylor. I'm trying to think here. Miranda. Yeah, there was one more. Melissa. I'm trying to think here. Yeah, and Angela. Oh wait, no. Not Angela. Because I instantly here's who. And Angela, and Bianca. Wait. Or Beatrice. I'm not exactly sure. It was either Bianca or Beatrice. But anyway, I instantly connected with them. But anyways, there were two teachers that I don't know anything about that I instantly first second of meeting them, I instantly already connected with them, which was Angela, who was a substitute dance teacher that I had 3 different times, and then also Natalie. I connected with her instantly, but anyway, I connected with all of my dance teachers at some point, pretty much instantly. And I connected with my voice teacher, Allison Porter, instantly, I, soon as I, I logged on and stuff, and cause I was new, she, I had me on mute so she could, kind of know a little bit about me, and she was, just and instantly, I told her, I'm this is my first voice lesson ever, and she's okay, and you can either go by yourself or you can go with someone else, and you don't feel ready for that yet. And then I'm okay. I'm ready to go by myself. From the beginning in voice lessons, I instantly have just, I feel I never have held back. And I don't do that with dance either. Because I don't got time to hold back. I gotta go for it every single time. No time to be wasting, holding back and stuff, because it's not getting you anywhere. So anyways, I instantly connected with Allison, and she had brought Carrie on as a substitute for us for 3 weeks. And instantly, actually no, 4 weeks, because as her and Allison had both did it 1 week, and then the next week we didn't have anything, but I worked with her 3 other times. That was just her, no Allison, just Carrie. And instantly, I connected with Carrie very quickly, and Carrie figured me out really quickly, because she figured out I like wordy songs that are fast and upbeat and have a lot of words. And yesterday, I actually did a song that I really want to do a different song for her, because one that she hadn't heard me do. So I was between 2 songs. there was one song that, like, part of it was just, it seemed like a good song. I never really heard it too often, but I, like, kind of thought about doing it, and then I'm like, I'm gonna do my other song that I wanted to, because I was between it and Let It Go. Now, here's the thing, I gotta give you the backstory behind this. I ended up doing Let It Go. And it was an emotional voice lesson for so many reasons. First up, I knew it was gonna be no matter what song I did, because it's the last week with Carrie Larson, as of right now. And, like, I don't want it, like, I don't want it to be over, and I still am, like, I don't want it to be over. I like Carrie. Carrie is incredible. Although Carrie has seriously changed my life, and so has Allison. And I'm really excited to get Allison back next week, but it's like, I don't want it to be over, if that makes sense. So anyways, like, but anyways, I knew it was gonna be, like, kind of emotional, because it's like, I wasn't ready for it to be over, and stuff. And then I'm, like, doing Let It Go, like, that, making it even more, like, that's definitely hard for me, because first up, I have not listened to the song Let It Go in 4 years. I have not watched the movie in 4 years. Frozen. Like, no, from Frozen. Like, I haven't watched it in 4 years. I haven't heard the song in 4 years. I haven't sang the song in 5 years. Like, and the reason is because now whenever I hear that song, it reminds me of my crush. And it reminds me of how many times he, like, pushed me to sing, and how he just wanted to hear me sing. Like, every single time. If I tried to say, I know I'm not singing, and then he would be like, I heard you're not singing. And then I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I do it for me. Like, I do it for me. You're really good at it. I really want you to do it. Like, you can do everything he can to, like, get me to do it. And then he would always win. Because when it's something as simple as that, like, I'm just gonna let him win, because I know he's not gonna, like, stop until he's won. Like, that little, like, conversation. And then have it his way. And it's, like, not even a big thing. So, like, yeah, so that song, like, seriously, like, just reminds me of my crush. And that's great, because I seriously wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for him. Like, maybe I would be doing the dancing part, but, like, the singing I wouldn't be doing if it weren't for him. Like, if he's watching this, thank you for that. You seriously changed my life. But, so, like, it's one of those where it's very, very exciting that, like, I'm, like, I distanced myself from that song and that movie, because I'm, like, I don't want it to, like, I don't want to, like, listen to it, and then, like, I think about my crush even more than I already am. And that makes sense. So, yeah, so, anyways, it became my turn. And she's like, Lolly, like, she's like, what song will you be singing for us today? And I'm like, I'm doing an emotional song for me, Let It Go from Frozen. And I ended up doing a part of it, and she was really impressed. Also, it's kind of hard for me to take constructive criticism on something, on a song that, like, isn't easy for me to get through to begin with, because it reminds me of me and my crush, like. So, and I knew I was going to get constructive criticism, and I did. And, like, it's correction, it's only making me better, and in the end, she put it in the best way possible. She gave me, like, 3 or 4 corrections, which is kind of a lot, but at the same time, like, she said you did a really, really good job. But, like, make sure that, like, you're really chewing your words and, like, breath control. And what chewing your words means is when you're talking, you're not doing this. But when you're singing, you have to really chew your words and, like, kind of do this. Like, you have to really move your mouth when you're singing. And it looks normal when you're singing, but it takes time to get used to. When you're talking, you don't have to move your mouth as much. But I'm really trying to move my mouth a lot now when I'm, like, talking. And so I can really work on that and get used to it. But anyways, then, like, my turn was done, and I got, like, 4 corrections, and she put it in a way to where, like, even though it was constructive criticism, I took it really well, and I acted like it's a normal voice lesson, but it's not. It's the last one with Carrie, and it's, like, reminding me of my crush. And afterward, I turned my camera off until we did a voice exercise, and we got to become, like, a cartoon character. So she would, like, give us something that she had, like, a line from a song, and she would tell us to, like, sing it in, like, this sort of way, or, like, oh, sing it sad. No one got sad. But, like, that was an example. Oh, but for me it was sing it nasally, like, I up in my nose, like, nasally. And then we would have to sing that line as a cartoon character with that. And it was really fun. Peace out.